Hello, everybody. My name is Erie D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county sheriff, Tennessee, Tennessee. Today and date is early Monday morning, December the 3rd, 2018. The time 2:32 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support for your continued encouragement, support. Continue to keep myself employed right here in this Memphis tri-state area and continue to further my education. Monroe College online, pursuing my social degree, studying business administration, concentration market. At this present time, I've taken a break from going to school, but in the very near future, I will be going back to Monroe College online to pursue my social degree, studying business administration, concentration market. What I'm doing right now, I'm doing my Instagram. Hello, everybody. My name is Erie D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county sheriff, in the state of Tennessee. Today and date is early Monday morning, December the 3rd, 2018. The time 2:34 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support for your continued encouragement, support. Anti-gang. Anti-gang. Now, these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logos. going to continue to complain. I'm going to continue. First, I want to always give thanks to God for all blessing and guidance that He provides us all with. Now, I'm going to continue to complain. I'm going to continue to speak out. People saying they are gang plus stir. People saying they are mob plus stir. People saying they are boss, they are goon, they are thug, they are goon, they are hoodlum. They are crook, they are hoodlum. They are Mac, they are player, they are pimp, they are whore. People say they are hustler and all this. People say they are nigga. Field nigga, house nigga. But people say that, yeah, they do. They say that. And it's street slang. Some ignorant nonsense. And people all over the earth communicate and use language. And some examples of some more examples of street slang. Music. Hip and hop. Rock and roll. Swing, groove, jazz, blues, do and wop, beat and bop. And then it's a children's game like tic tac toe, hop and scotch. You can take all that stuff and switch it around and scotch and hop, tic tac toe, do tac tick. There's nothing official about no street slang. Hip and hop, hop and hip, rock and roll, roll and rock. Bop and what was that? Bebop, bop beat. Do wop, wop do. Nothing official about no street slang. Nothing official about no street slang. Now we can go to the quick reference, Wikipedia, and we can look up money, currency exchange, because people all over Earth use money, currency, and make up street slang all over Earth. Now, here in the United States of America, for example, some street slang for money, bucks, rack, stack, bands, dough, scratch, loop, move, Benjamin, dead president. Nothing official about no street slang. Nothing official about no street slang. Excuse me. Some ignorant nonsense. They just made it up. And see, it just take me for example, high school graduate, earned my high school diploma. Now some people didn't graduate high school, but they have what they call a GED. Then you have other people who didn't graduate high school, they don't have no high school diploma, don't have no GED. You know what I'm talking about? And but you don't know. You don't know. And you don't know how to read, you don't know how to write, you don't know math, you don't know science and technology. You don't know. You don't know social studies. And you don't know vocational and technical training. You don't know. Excuse me. Now let's take the people that go to college. Some people earn that social degree like myself, but then you have the people that have a bachelor degree, master degree, PhD, the sorority and the fraternity. Matter of fact, this early Monday morning, and so the sorority and fraternity waiting on me and everybody else to come back to work because they haven't seen me since Friday, and so ain't none of them women, with the bachelor degree, the master degree, the PhD, sitting up in this house with me, but they waiting on me to come back to work Monday morning and want me to be on time. And got the nerve want me to be on time. They ain't seen me since Friday. Got a bachelor degree, master degree, PhD. But that's the sorority and fraternity, So all that ignorant nonsense, they wait on you to come back to work so you can say all that ignorant nonsense at work, on the job, at your place of employment. That sorority and that fraternity, like we've been talking about, they waiting on high school children to graduate from high school and then come to the college campus and get initiated so you can join the sorority and the fraternity. They commit crimes on the campus and off the campus. They use and abuse alcohol and drugs. Whatever you do, don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Like we've been talking about this gang nonsense here in the United States of America. For example, talking about the Blood gang and the Crip gang out there in Los Angeles, California, and they be the sorority and the fraternity. That's the sorority and the fraternity. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. And then up there in Chicago, Illinois, that folk gang, my people gang, that's the sorority and the fraternity doing it. That's the sorority and the fraternity doing it. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Whatever you do, don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Because see, there ain't no such thing as talking about no Chicago and Los Angeles. See, all that stuff goes back to organized crime. Organized crime before Prohibition, during Prohibition, and after Prohibition. Organized crime. That's where that came from. Because see, like we've been talking about the African Americans, we were slaves on the plantation. We were slaves on the plantation. And after the Civil War, with the Emancipation Proclamation, that sorority and that fraternity, we were being denied education and being discriminated against. And so that sorority and fraternity, ain't nothing official about no sorority and no fraternity. It never was anything that they were doing that was right. Nothing that they doing was right. So don't think that the sorority and fraternity they're supposed to mean something like they got. Just because they go to college, you go to college and then you try to use that as a way of having influence with other people. Because you went to college and then gonna tell them you belong to a sorority and fraternity. The sorority and fraternity doing nothing but trying to make criminals out of everybody. It's just another way of organized crime. Now, as you know, Harvard University is the oldest institution of higher learning in the United States, founded on March 13, 1639 in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and also William and Mary College in Williamsburg, Virginia, founded February 8, 1693. It is the second oldest institution of higher learning here in the United States of America. Phi Beta Kappa Society, founded on December 5th, 1776. The College of William and Mary, and recognized as the first Greek letter student society in North America. Alpha Delta Pi, first sorority, founded in 1851 in Wesleyan College in Macon, Georgia. Excuse me. And the first organization to adopt the word sorority was Gamma Phi Beta, established on November 11, 1874 at Syracuse University, Syracuse, New York. There's nothing official about no sorority and fraternity. Nothing official about no sorority and fraternity. Now see all that stuff that, on these different dates that the sorority fraternity would be African American was slaves on the plantation, and then, like I said, after the Civil War, the Emancipation Proclamation, African American was being discriminated against and being denied education, being discriminated against, and then you got all these And you know the basis of the sorority fraternity is these secret societies from the old world. For example, the Freemasons and the Eastern Stars. You know, they talk about Euclid, the mathematician, lived in Alexandria, Egypt, and he mentioned in the Hollowell manuscript where it reads his poem. Excuse me. Now you know the Regis poem, the Hollowell manuscript, and then you had a Cook manuscript, and then you had a Dowling manuscript. Now, examples of the secret society, old world secret society, Skull and Bones, Rosicrucians, the Sons of Liberty, Thug Society, the Priory of Sion, the Ordo Templis Orientis, the Knights of the Golden Eagle, the Woodmen, the ancient Arabic order of the Nobles of the Mystic Shrine, the Improved Order of Redmond, the Pio Sisterhood, Freemasonry, and also the Eastern Star, the Loyal Order of Moose, the Bilderberg Group, the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights of Matthias, Knights of Columbus, the Illuminati, the Forrester Society, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the Mystic Order of Veiled Prophets of the Enchanted Realm, the United Order of the Golden Cross, the United Ancient Order of Druids, the National Grange, the Ancient Order of Hermanaeans. And then you had Spanish Garduna, the Carbonaria, the Black Hand, the Mafia Cosa Nostra, the Triad, the Yakuza, then the Osiriga, and some more, that we didn't mention. But that's really the basis of the sorority fraternity, organized crime. And this is the International Bill on Human Rights. This is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. This is the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. And this is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. This is the world's oldest human rights organization, Anti-Slavery International. And this is the International Federation for Human Rights. And this is the world's oldest international conservation organization, BirdLife International. This is also Fauna and Flora International, was the world's first international wildlife conservation organization. The world's oldest global environmental organization, International Union for Conservation of Nature, and also the World Wildlife Fund. Now there are some other organizations, such as the organization we just mentioned, okay, such as Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Global Rights, Frontline Defenders, Human Rights Without Frontiers, International Service for Human Rights, Conservation International, Wildlife Conservation Society, Conservation Fund, Legal Conservation Voters, Earth Watch Institute, Conservancy Association, Earth Justice, the Conservation Volunteers, Wildlife Conservation Network, Endangered Wildlife Trust, Biodiversity and Nature Conservancy Association, Rare Species Conservation Center, the Wildlife Research and Conservation Trust, Rainforest Trust, International Rainforest Conservation Organization, the Rainforest Alliance, Rainforest Action Network, Biodiversity International, Earth Day Network, Environmental Defense Fund, Friends of the Earth, Friends of Nature, Greenpeace, the Nature Conservancy, Wildlife Conservation Society, Soil and Water Conservation, Clean Water Action, World Water Council, Marine Conservation Institute, Marine Conservation Alliance, Oceanic Preservation Society, Oceanic Society, Global Ocean Commission, International Marine Life Alliance. And as you know, there are many other organizations that I didn't mention. But, you know, these organizations are doing a beautiful, beautiful work and trying to end, you know, all the pollution and excuse me, the human rights violations, discrimination, and harassment. And so these organizations are trying to make the world a better place for all of us to live. And so when it comes to businesses, companies, and corporations here in the United States of America, everybody don't live in the United States of America. You know, the pollution, ground pollution, air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution. See, this with these organizations I work in, including, just like I said, the businesses, companies, and corporations, the discrimination, the harassment, you know. And so do a background check. See, like we were talking about this yesterday, you know, these companies and these businesses, these corporations, they say they're going to do a background check on me and everybody else. Well, I mean, you know, it go both ways. It go both ways. You can do the same thing. I can do the same thing. I can do a background check on any company and its management as well as employees. I can do the same thing, and it should do the same thing. They not above doing wrong. That's the reason why we got all these organizations. That's the reason why we have a United Nations today. That's the very reason why we have a United Nations Day, because businesses, companies, and corporations, the wrong that they have done in the past and in the present and possibly in the future. Do a background check. It's legal. They ain't do a background check. They not above nobody doing a background check on them. You'll see everybody don't do things the same. You know, you got business and company, corporations here in the United States of America. But then you know everybody don't live in the United States of America. You got people that live outside the United States of America all over the world that do business. You know, the economy. You see, when it comes to pollution, like we pointed out yesterday about developing countries. See? And then you think about the pollution. When you look back in history, and then think about this. Just take Sub-Saharan Africa, for example. A lot of countries around the world, when did they gain independence from colonialism? Think about it. See, this is the reason why pollution is such a sensitive issue. It's not just about the environment and the wildlife and the nature. The pollution, is racism, sexism, for that very reason. Organized crime, and because many nations around the world weren't even in existence. What they used to call Myanmar used to be Burma. For a long time, it was Burma, and then a lot of nations around the world weren't even in existence. Now you have new borders, and it ain't always been United Nations. It used to be a League of Nations. But see, that's the reason why when we talk about pollution and organized crime, it's a very sensitive issue. It's a very sensitive issue because all these nations around the world haven't always been nations that they are today. For one of the main reasons, colonialism. And it's not just in Sub-Saharan Africa. It's all over the world. Then you had communism, socialism, fascism, and all these other isms. See, there's a lot of issues and a lot of factors involved. So, doing a background check, and when we talk about pollution, see, when you investigate, a lot of it, the majority of that pollution came from America. Industrialized nations. So, and so, just like we were talking about organized crime, it's important. See, all around the world, the influence of organized crime. You see all the wars being fought still today, all over Sub-Saharan Africa, North Africa, the Middle East, Central Asia, Europe, all over the world. You still have all wars being fought, and that's the reason why you have all these refugees all around the world. And see, that's organized crime doing that. See, organized crime, not no skin color. It's not no language. See, it's not the, your physical features. It's not a gender. It's not male or female. It's not age. Like it's just a certain group of people in a certain age. It's young, old, male and female. Sexual orientation. That it's any and everybody. That's what organized crime is. Any and everybody. Any and everywhere. And so, and then people be wondering like what can be done about organized crime. Well, you have to really understand what organized crime really is about. See, it's about people in the past who they call themselves wanting to reject the traditions. It's not all of it, but that's part of it. They want to reject traditions because they want to accuse their leaders, their elders of lying. That's part of it, And so, they accuse their elders and leaders of lying about God and about all kind of issues, about where they came from, and so that's basically they got a lot to do with organized crime today. But that's where it come from. That's the origin of the so-called organized crime, devil worship. That's what it is. Devil, that's devil worshippers. And so, try not to listen to organized crime. Try not to listen to organized crime. Now, while we was talking about the organization and about animal abuse, I had told you about my, how over the Thanksgiving holiday I had watched the Westminster Dog Show, and how people abuse animals with this. I ain't gonna say the intentional dog breed, but it's like the unintentional dog breed. People have a dog, they have a pet or a cat, and you leave your pet outside, and then you wonder how your pet got pregnant. It always be the girl dog that get pregnant, and you got let me think. They're just saying you got a Labrador Retriever, a girl dog, and then you wonder how she got pregnant. You don't even know what she got pregnant by. You don't even know she got a mutt. Now she done had the puppies. The puppies don't even look nothing like the mama. She done got pregnant. She done got pregnant by a hound dog in the neighborhood. By some beagle hound in the neighborhood. But see, the thing about it, dogs have health problems too. That's the reason why I really brought it up, because each individual breed on its own, by itself. They just say the beagle hound. The beagle hound, a boy and a girl, they can mate and have beagle hound puppies. The beagle hound have health problems of his own. And then, but when you take that beagle hound and that beagle hound, mate with a Jack Russell Terrier, a dog totally out of his rank, not even a hound, with a Jack Russell Terrier, the Jack Russell Terrier have health problems. Have health problems. See, that's how animals get abused. That's another form of animal abuse. See, you don't pay attention to the health problems of the dog breed or the cat, and they end up having puppies and kittens, and then they have health problems. Then they have health problems, and then they don't even get treated for those health problems. See that's animal abuse. That's animal abuse. So be mindful. If you're a pet owner or considering getting a pet, or somebody who has a pet, be mindful of the fact that animals have health problems too, not just humans. Humans have cancer and diabetes. Animals can get diabetes and cancer. So think about be mindful of that fact that animals have health problems too, and it's another form of animal abuse. It's another form of animal abuse. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logo. Again, don't let the sorority and the fraternity mislead you. Whatever you do, don't let the sorority and the fraternity mislead you. Now what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna do my Facebook Live. I'm gonna do Facebook Live. Did Periscope yesterday, and I got my YouTube video bagged up. So I'm gonna do Facebook Live today. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. My name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine, right here in the city of the county sheriff in the state of Tennessee. Today, it's early Monday morning, December 3rd, 2018. The time 3:12 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support for the team, turn the support. Anti-gang. These are just a few of the free logo design websites that you go to make anti-gang logo. Remember these words: coercion, coerce, sexual coercion, psychological coercion, psychological manipulation, psychological abuse. I just did my Instagram video, and I always have my my YouTube video, recording at the same time. But I'm gonna continue to complain. I'm gonna continue to speak out. People saying they're gang plus stir. People saying they're mob plus stir. People saying they're boss, they're goon, they're thug, they're crook, they're hooligan, they're Mac, they're player, they're pimp, they're whore, they're hustler. People say they're nigga, they're field nigga, house nigga. People say they're ignorant nonsense. The street slang. People all over the earth communicate, use language. Now, let's just say myself, graduated high school, earned my high school diploma, even got some college, credits. But everybody ain't graduated high school. Everybody didn't earn no high school diploma. But they did, earn a GED. Then you had those people who didn't graduate high school, didn't earn no high school diploma, didn't earn no GED. You don't know. You don't know how to read, write. You don't know how to do math. You don't know science, technology. You don't know social studies. You don't know vocational and technical training. You don't know. You don't know. Now, take for example. Excuse me. Take for example. A person with a social degree, the bachelor degree, the person with a bachelor degree, the master degree, PhD, that's waiting on me to come back to work. You know, because this is Monday morning, early Monday morning, waiting on me and everybody else to come back to work Monday morning with the bachelor degree, master degree, PhD, the sorority and the fraternity. You know, I've been gone ever since Friday. You know, Friday I've been gone over the weekend, haven't socialized with none of my, you know, so-called fellow co-workers or nothing like that. But you know, want wait till the weekend, you know, is over. So waiting on me to come back to work Monday. You know, just for example, ain't none of them women with the bachelor degree, master degree, PhD been socializing with me. You know, not at work. You know, ain't no woman, you know, with no bachelor degree, no master degree, PhD been socializing with me over the weekend. But they waiting on me to come back to work. And then got the nerve to expect me to be on time. Ain't that something? Ain't that, you know, got the nerve to, you know, they don't even socialize with me over the weekend, then got the nerve to tell me to come back to work Monday morning and to be on time. With a bachelor degree, a master degree, a PhD. Anyway, but you know, nothing official about no sorority, no fraternity. Nothing official about no sorority, fraternity. Don't let that sorority, fraternity mislead you. Whatever you do, don't let the sorority, fraternity mislead you. Because now you know Harvard University is the oldest institution of higher learning in the United States, founded March 13, 1639 in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Now William and Mary College, Williamsburg, Virginia, founded February 8, 1693, is the second oldest institution of higher learning in the United States of America. And Phi Beta Kappa Society, founded December 5, 1776. The College of William and Mary, and is recognized as the first Greek letter student society in North America. Alpha Delta Pi, first sorority, founded in 1851, Wesleyan College in Macon, Georgia. The first organization to adopt the word sorority was Gamma Phi Beta, established on November 11, 1874 at Syracuse University in Syracuse, New York. Now, that Freemasonry, Eastern Star, you know, Euclid, the mathematician, he lived in Alexandria, Egypt. And he mentioned in the Hollowell manuscript, or the Regis poem. And then, the Regis poem, the Hollowell manuscript. Then you got the Cook manuscript. And then you got the Dowling manuscript. See, as you know, the basis of the sorority and fraternity is them old world secret societies. For example, Skull and Bones, the Rosicrucians, the Sons of Liberty, the Thug Society, the Priory Science, the Ordo Templis Orientis, the Knights of the Golden Eagle, the Woodmen, the ancient Arabic Order of the Nobles of the Mystic Shrine, the Improved Order of the Redmen, the P.O. Sisterhood, Freemasonry, and the Eastern Star, the Lord Order of Moose, the Bilderberg Group, the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights of Matthias, the Knights of Columbus, the Illuminati, the Forrester Society, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the Mystic Order of Veil Prophets of the Enchanted Realm, the United Order of the Golden Cross, the United Ancient Order of Druids, the National Grange, the Ancient Order of Hermanaeans. See, that's the basis of the sorority fraternity. Ain't nothing official about no sorority fraternity. And then also the Spanish Garduna, the Carbonaria, the Black Hand, the Mafia Cosa Nostra, the Triad, the Yakuza, and the Osirica. So don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you, because just like we've been talking about how that blood gang, Crip gang out there in Los Angeles, California, that's the sorority and fraternity doing it. That's the sorority and fraternity. And then up there in Chicago, Illinois, folk gang, my people gang, that's the sorority and fraternity doing it. There's no such thing. Talking about some Chicago and LA, that's the organized crime. That's where they came from. That's organized crime. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Whatever you do, don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Because African Americans were brought over here to be, as slaves on the plantation. And this sorority and fraternity didn't do anything right, not doing anything right. And that sorority and fraternity, after slavery, the Civil War, the Emancipation Proclamation, African Americans being denied education and being discriminated against. Nothing good about no sorority, no fraternity. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Whatever you do. When it comes to businesses, companies, and corporations, see the sorority and fraternity here in the United States of America, business and companies, corporations outside the United States, they do things different. Here in the United States of America, we have businesses, companies, and corporations. And one of the things we point out is that, you have these developing countries and things of that nature. But you look around the world ain't always been the way it is today. We had colonialism, socialism, and communism, and fascism, and all that, And when it comes to pollution and, air pollution, ground pollution, water pollution, oil pollution, the majority of that pollution comes from industrialized nations, the United States of America. But like I say, all these nations around the world haven't always been. It ain't always been no Myanmar. It used to be Burma. And, all the borders that you see today, it ain't always been that way. But the nations that you see today, the borders ain't always been there. So when it comes to that sorority and that fraternity, and these businesses, companies, and corporations here in the United States of America, they want to do a background check on me. Do a background check on you. It go both ways. It go both ways. You're not above, somebody getting information on businesses, companies, and corporations. They do a background check on me. I'm entitled to do the same thing. Do a background check on the businesses, companies, and corporations. Now, this is the International Bill of Human Rights. And this is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. And this is the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. And this is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. The world's oldest human rights organization, Anti-Slavery International. And this is the International Federation for Human Rights. This is the world's oldest international conservation organization, BirdLife International. And this is Fauna and Flora International, was the world's first international wildlife conservation organization. And this is the world's oldest global environmental organization, International Union for Conservation of Nature, and also the World Wildlife Fund. Now, just like those organizations, there are other organizations such as Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Global Rights, Frontline Defenders, Human Rights Without Frontiers, International Service for Human Rights. Conservation International, Wildlife Conservation Society, the Conservation Fund, League of Conservation Voters, Earthwatch Institute, Conservancy Association, Earth Justice, the Conservation Volunteers, the Wildlife Conservation Society Network, the Endangered Wildlife Trust, the Biodiversity and Nature Conservancy Association, the Rare Species Conservation Center, Wildlife Research and Conservation Trust, Rainforest Trust, International Rainforest Conservation Organizations, Rainforest Alliance, Rainforest Action Network. The Biodiversity International Earth Day Network, Environmental Defense Fund, Friends of the Earth, Friends of Nature, Greenpeace, the Nature Conservancy Wildlife Conservation Society, Soil and Water Conservation, Clean Water Action, World Water Council, Marine Conservation Institute, Marine Conservation Alliance, Oceanic Preservation Society, Oceanic Society, Global Ocean Commission, International Marine Life Alliance. You know, there are many other organizations that I didn't mention, but they all, trying to, to end all this wrong and trying to make the world a better place for all of us to live. And so, and then, the sorority and the fraternity, working for the businesses, companies, and corporations. And then you see all these organizations as well as other organizations. They're trying to clean up all the ground pollution, the air pollution, the water pollution, the noise pollution. See, it's nothing good about no sorority, no fraternity. You do a background. See, that's the reason why they talking about they're going to do a background check on me. These businesses, companies, and corporations. Do a background check on these businesses, companies, and corporations. Then you'll see. You'll get an eye-opening view of what it is that I'm talking about. Just for example, here in the United States of America, like I say, everybody don't live in America. People start businesses, companies, and corporations in other countries. When it comes to pollution, The industrialized world, that's where the majority of the pollution came from. Because like we say, we look back in history. You had colonialism and racism and nationalism. You had socialism and fascism and communism, capitalism. And because you had like what they call them developing nations, and so the sorority and the fraternity, you ain't got nothing to brag about. They ain't got nothing to brag about. They got a long history of nothing but wrong. Nothing but wrong. They do all this wrong on the college campus. They wait on these college kids. They wait on these high school children to graduate from high school and then come to these college campuses and then get initiated to these sororities and fraternities. Then they become criminals. You was already being criminalized by the influence of the sorority and fraternity. Then you graduate high school, then you go to college. Then you get criminalized some more. You start committing crimes on the campus, where it's off the campus. You use and abuse alcohol and drugs. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Like we've been talking about, for example, that blood gang, that Crip gang out there in Los Angeles, that's the sorority and fraternity. That's what that is. That's the sorority and the fraternity. Up there in Chicago, Illinois, the same thing. The folk gang, the My People gang. That's the sorority and the fraternity. Don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Whatever you do, don't let the sorority and fraternity mislead you. Do a background check. Do a background check on their business and their companies and corporate. They think they can just tell me and you that they're going to do a background check on me and you. Do a background check on their business and companies and corporations for the wrong that they do. And another thing, like I mentioned yesterday, like these organizations, like over the Thanksgiving holiday, I had watched the Westminster Dog Show, and I seen all them breeds of dogs, and battles all about talking about these organizations and the work that they do to try to stop animals from being abused, the wildlife, and trying to save wildlife and nature and the environment. It came to I'm saying, it was like, that's another form of animal abuse. I seen all them dog breeds, and I thought about, because I live in a neighborhood and I live in the city of Memphis, and you always hear about dogs and cats, dogs and cats. And they make, somebody got a pet, they got a dog, and they got a name in the breed, the terrier, what's his name? The Yorkshire Terrier. The Yorkshire Terrier. He got a certain look. He got, you can distinguish certain breeds. The Yorkshire Terrier from the what's the little white one? There's another terrier, but he all white. A little small toy dog. I'm trying to think of Western Terrier. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, you got a pet. He one of them terriers. And then you find out, and she a girl dog. Then you find out she pregnant. Then she had the puppies. You don't know how she got pregnant. One of the dogs in the neighborhood got her pregnant. And it wasn't the dog it wasn't the same dog. It wasn't a terrier. It wasn't a terrier. Then the puppies come out, then you see the puppies. Don't look nothing like the mama. Don't look nothing like the mama. Then you find out that it was somebody got a Dalmatian down the street, and it looked just like the dog down the street, white and black. Got white, looked just like the Dalmatian down the street. But your dog is one of the I can't think of that dog's name. I know it's a terrier, the little white one. Not a Yorkshire Terrier, but it'll come to me. I don't want to look it up. I looking at the time. But anyway, see, that's another form of animal abuse. And the reason being, see, animals have diseases, have health problems, and this is serious. Just like the Dalmatian. By itself, the Dalmatian, a boy and a girl, Dalmatian, they have puppies. But see, the Dalmatian have health problems. When they went through all the process of breeding these dogs, see, a lot of these dogs have health problems that you don't be knowing about. The average person don't really just know the history of a dog. They just go by what they look, how the dog look, and oh, that's a pretty dog. I want that dog. That's basically all you go by. But you don't take the time to do research and, to find out the history of the dog and find out their health issues with that breed. And then you find out some mutt. Dogs have puppies. And then they have some mutts. And when you know what a mutt is, that's a breed that they really, one of them crossbreed dogs that the kennel club don't even recognize. Like, for example, like we did the Dalmatian and one of them Yorkshire Terriers. That's a mutt. And it's a lot of mutts. It's a lot of, but see, that's animal abuse. See, then when you call a dog a mutt, you know what you're really saying. You don't like that dog. You don't like it. And it's something that you don't like, you don't take care of it. Think about it. Think about it. If you don't like that your dog was a Yorkshire Terrier, and you didn't want your Yorkshire Terrier to get pregnant by a non-Yorkshire Terrier, by a Dalmatian, or by a bloodhound, think about it. There's a bloodhound down the street, and you let your Yorkshire Terrier go come out, and then she end up getting pregnant by a bloodhound, And then you see the puppies. You don't even like the puppies, and then by you not liking it, you're not gonna care. See, that's animal abuse. That's animal abuse. So be mindful of the health issues that dogs have. Because just like humans can have cancer, humans can have diabetes, cats, dogs can have cancer too. Right? Yeah, they can have cancer too. And they can have other health issues. So be mindful of these things when you be, as a pet owner. Be mindful of the health problems that dogs and cats that they have. Now, as you know, the United States government, as well as other governments around the world, they enact laws that are intended to make each and every one of us safe from crime. Now, the United States government enacted the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970 and Title IX of the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970, the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, the RICO Act, is anti-gang. And then also the Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act of 1970, the Controlled Substance Act, the Psychotropic Substance Act, the Continuing Criminal Enterprise Statute, Kingpins. It's all anti-gang. The Juvenile Justice and Lynch Prevention Act of 1974 established the Office of Juvenile Justice and Lynch Prevention, as well as other related legislation. That's anti-gang. The Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Lynch Prevention, and the Comprehensive Gang Model, that's the Office of Juvenile Justice and Lynch Prevention, as well as the Bureau of Justice System, the Office of Justice Program, and the United States Department of Justice. That's anti-gang. The Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice System, the United States Department of Justice, the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative Project, St. Neighborhood. The United States Department of Justice, the Office of Community-Oriented Police and Certain Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Lynch Prevention, the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the International Narcotic Law Enforcement Affairs, the United States Department of State, Institute for Intergovernmental Affairs, Gang Resistant Education and Training Grade Program, the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Office of Juvenile Justice, the Lynch Prevention, October 2009, the National Youth Gang Center, which have been funded by the Office of Juvenile Justice and Lynch Prevention, since 1995 merged with the National Gang Center, which have been funded by the Bureau of Justice since 2003. The National Gang Center compilates state laws against gangs. Gang Prevention Overview Research Program, Mr. Jackson, out of the Office of Juvenile Justice and Lynch Prevention. The United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice System, Office of Juvenile Justice and Lynch Prevention, National Gang Center book, and the title of that book, History of Street Gangs in the United States. Read the books in the bulletin. You can also go to the quick reference Wikipedia, and you can find the same information titled Gangs in the United States. The United States Department of Justice, also the United States Attorney Manual, 1457 Criminal Street Gang Stand 18, United States Gold 521. The United States Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigating National Gang Intelligence Center, the United States Department of Justice, the Organized Crime and Gang Section, and there are other federal, state, and local agencies. The United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, Anti-Gang Strategy, Prevention, Intervention, Assessment, and Suppression. The United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, changing course, preventing gang membership, and also striving to reduce youth violence everywhere. The United States Department of Justice, the United States Department of Education, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, the United States Department of Labor, and the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention. You go to youth.gov, and you can be informed about the National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention, as well as the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative and the Comprehensive Gang Model. The United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice System, National Crime Prevention Council, keeping kids out of gangs. Also anti-hazing. Go to lawyers.com. You'll be informed about anti-hazing. Now, as you can see, the United States Department of Justice, they're telling you over and over again, it's wrong. It's wrong. All that organized crime and gangs and all that, they're telling you it's wrong. And then let me say this. We talking about organized crime. Excuse me. We talking about organized crime. And some people, they probably, had this, what to do, how do I not listen, nor how do I not support organized crime? Well, basically history of what we call, what's called organized crime. Just basic information. But see, you go all the way back in history. Go all the way back. Because organized crime is not a skin color. Just look around the world today. Look at all the wars being fought. It's organized crime. It's not a language. It's not an age. It's young people, old people. It's not a gender. It's not male or female. It's not sexual orientation. It's in and everybody, in and everywhere. And so, how do a person see? You go all the way back to history. Go all the way back. See, a lot of it got to do with people in the past. It's basically with people in the past who didn't want to listen to their leaders, their elders. That's basically what a lot of the problem came from. People thought that they accused their leaders, their elders, of lying about God and about a whole lot of other things. That's basically what one of the biggest problems about organized crime. It was people in the past who accused each other, and as well as others, of lying. That's one of the biggest sources of organized crime is that people in the past were accusing each other of lying about God and about various things. So you want to know what to do about it. That's what all that devil worship and all that organized crime. Now let's get ready to read about it. We've been talking about organized crime. The Jews. Now, when you go into the Bible, the Old Testament, the first time you see the word Jew in the book of Esther, the 2nd chapter, verse number 5. Jews, the Old Testament, 2 Kings, the 16th chapter, verse number 6. But see, the Jew and the Jews, they not, see, that's them the people that God told the children of Israel to utterly destroy. Now, read Numbers, go to the Old Testament, the 5 books of Moses, read Numbers, chapter 25, Israel's harlotry in Moab, Deuteronomy, chapter 7, a chosen people, Deuteronomy, chapter 13, the dream of dreams. Judges chapter 2 and 3. Don't continue reading, but read those chapters about the children of Israel. The book of Ezra chapter 9. And then that the title of that chapter is Intermarriage with Pagans. So again, read Ezra chapter 9. Emphasize verse number 12. Now, while we continue, we're talking about organized crime. the Catholic Church. Now you know the Catholic Church, what's his name? Saint Ignatius of Antioch. You know, in the first century, he wrote a letter. He wrote several letters. One of his letters he wrote to the Smyrnaeans. And in that letter, the phrase Catholic Church. Now, the Catholic Church and all them particular churches, organized crime. The Latin Rite, that's Latin. The Alexandrian Rite, that's the Coptic, the Ethiopian, the Eritrean. The Armenian Rite, that's the Armenian. The Byzantine Rite, Albanian, Belarusian, Bulgarian, Croatian and Serbian, Greek, Hungarian, Italo-Albanian, Macedonian, Melkite, Romanian, Russian, Ruthenian, Slavic, Ukrainian, the East Syria Rite, Chaldean and Syro-Malabar, the West Syria Rite, Maronite, Syriac, Syro-Malankara, the Protestant Reformation Churches, the 95 Theses, major branches: Adventism, Anabaptism, Anglicanism, Baptist churches, Calvinism, Lutheranism, Methodism, Pentecostalism, minor branches: Hussitism, Waldensianism, Plymouth Brethren, Holiness Movement, Quakerism, and there's some others. Interdenominational movement, Evangelicalism, Charismatic movement, Neo-Charismatic movement, other developments: Arminianism, Pietism, Puritanism, Neo-Orthodox, Paleo-Orthodoxy, Christian fundamentalism, modernism, and liberalism. Then there's some other related movements, non-denominational churches and house churches. The American Restoration Movement, Stone Campbell Movement, the Churches of Christ, the unaffiliated Christian Church, Church of Christ congregations, the Christian Church, Disciples of Christ. And then you have all these cult leaders, like for example, the Sikhs. Over there in the Sikhs. See, when you do some research, you'll see. And then some of these other cult leaders, the Baha'i. And then you ever heard what they call it, Zoroastrianism? You know, there's a lot of, go all the way back and see when you talk about the disciples and Jesus Christ in the first century, and then you start talking about Zoroastrianism, and then you talk about Islam, and you talk about the Sikhs. See, this was after the first century. See, Zoroastrianism was like right before Islam, around about the 5th, 6th. It was a little right before Islam. But see, something that you have to always look at. See, the children of Israel have been taken into captivity. And into Persia, were taken into captivity. See, a lot of people, they'll try to make all these claims and these words. You start finding out that the words are the same words that God used with the children of Israel, including God. And then monotheism. You start seeing the similarity, just like the Sikhs trying to make these claims. You see, they got a lot of information from Islam. And see, you can't get information from Islam, and then you hear all this stuff about the disciples in the Islam, like Jesus Christ, what you call Jesus Christ, and he was just a prophet. Then you call Muhammad, you called him a prophet. Then you took other excuse me. You took the mother of Jesus, Mary, put that in the Quran. You put a lot of stuff from the Bible in the Quran. And then you got people who, like the Sikhs, for instance, they'll take scriptures from the Quran. See, this would be, see, this organized crime. Organized crime. And see, it's more to like Jim Jones and what's his name, David Koresh. What's the name? The scientist, Hubbard, L. Ron Hubbard. And then the Mormons, talking about they got some kind of prophet. And talking about he wrote a book, he got a book. See, you don't tell people that and then think that that's credible. Try to make it sound like it's credible when it's not. It's organized crime. See, it's all it is. It's organized crime. They'll take all this information and distort it all around the world and distort it. They use and misuse scriptures out the Holy Bible. You know, the Old Testament and the New Testament. It's organized crime. American Muslim Society, the Moorish Science Temple, the Nation of Islam, 5% Nation of Black Hebrew Israelites, the Rastafari movement, using and misusing scriptures out the Holy Bible. First of all, we're going to make it official. There's only one church, first of all. There's only one church. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, established one church. Establish one church. Going to the United Nations. Gonna make it official. The International Criminal Court filing criminal and civil charges. Criminal and civil, because it's a crime that you committed. It is a crime. And don't you dare even say it's not. You committing a crime. Just because, like they tell you in the law, you may not know it's a crime, but it is a crime. It is. Now we're going to open up the Bible. We're going to go to now you know we're going to continue to expose Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul. He's a liar, a murderer. He's the devil. He's the devil. Now, all those that we just mentioned, all them man-made religious organizations, organized crime, a lot of them depend on Saul. A lot of the majority of them, they depend on Saul, the Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul. Those epistles that he wrote. Romans chapter 16, verse 16, salute one another with the Holy Ghost, the church, with the substance of Christ. Salute. Second Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 4, so that we ourselves glory in you in the church with the substance and yet churches of God for your patience and faith in all your persecution and tribulation that ye endure. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, established only one church. Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 through 19, and Matthew chapter 18, verses 15 through 20. Open up my Bible. Now, all those who are watching and following along, you can go to BibleStudyTool.com to follow along. You can go to BibleGateway.com to follow along. Turn to the book of Matthew chapter 16. Verses 13 through 19, it reads, When Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, Some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. He said unto them, But whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Now I'm going to turn to Matthew chapter 18. We'll read verses 15 through 20. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses every word may be established. And if you shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if you neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever ye shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Again I say unto you, there are two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask. It shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. There's only one church. Only one church. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, established only one church. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, he gave a commission to his apostles. We're gonna read Matthew chapter 28, verses 16 through 20. Then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee, into a mountain where Jesus had appointed them. And when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. And Jesus came and spake unto them, saying, All power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you, and lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Amen. And also you can go to the book of Mark, chapter 16, verses 14 through 20. The book of Luke, chapter 24, verses 44 through 49. And also the book of John, chapter 21. Now, Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul. He's a liar, a murderer. He's the devil. He called himself an apostle. He's not no apostle. He is not no apostle. Let's turn to the book of Acts, chapter 1. And it reads, The former treatise have I made, O Theophilus, of all that Jesus began both to do and teach, until the day in which he was taken up, after that he through the Holy Ghost had given commandments unto the apostles whom he had chosen, to whom also he shewed himself alive after his passed by many infallible proofs, being seen of them 40 days, and speaking of the things pertaining to the kingdom of God, being assembled together with them, commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem, but wait for the promise of the Father, which saith he, ye have heard of me, but John truly baptized with water, but ye should be baptized with the Holy Ghost not many days hence. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the season which the Father hath put in his own power, but ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria, and unto the uttermost part of the earth. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfast toward heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Jesus which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Then returned they unto Jerusalem from the mount called Olivet, which is from Jerusalem a 7 days' journey. And when they were come in, they went up into an upper room, whereby both Peter and James and John and Andrew, Philip and Thomas, Bartholomew and Matthew, James the son of Alphaeus and Simon Zelotes, and Judas the brother of James. These all continued with one accord in prayer and supplication with the women, and Mary the mother of Jesus, and with his brethren. And in those days Peter stood up in the midst of the disciples and said, the number names together were about 120 men and brethren. This scripture must needs have been fulfilled, which the Holy Ghost by the mouth of David spake before concerning Judah, which was guide to them, and took Jesus. For he was known with us and had obtained part of his ministry. Now this man purchased a field with the reward of iniquity, and falling headlong, he burst asunder in the midst of all that bowed gushed out. And it was known to all the dwellers of Jerusalem, and so much of that field is called in their proper tongue a settlement, that is to say, the field of blood. For it is written in the book of Psalms, that his habitation be desolate, let no man dwell therein, and his bishopric let another take. Wherefore these men which have company with us all the time that the Lord Jesus went in and out among us, beginning from the baptism of John to that same day that he was taken up from us, must one be ordained to be a witness with us of his resurrection. They appointed to Joseph called Barsabbas, with surname Justus, and Matthias. And they prayed and said, Thou Lord, which knowest the hearts of all men, shew whether these two thou hast chosen, that he may take part of this ministry and apostleship from which Judas by transgression fell, that he might go to his own place. And they gave forth their lot, and the lot fell upon Matthias. And he was numbered with 11 apostles. There's only 12 apostles. Only 12. Now this is the second epistle of Apostle Peter, chapter 3, verse 2. That ye may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets, and of the commandment of us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior. This is the epistle of Jude, chapter 1, verse 17. But beloved, remember ye the words which were spoken for the apostle of our Lord Jesus Christ. Now I'm going to turn to the book of Revelation of Jesus Christ, chapter 1. read verse 11. Saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. But what thou seest, write in the book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. This is the revelation of Jesus Christ, chapter 2, verse 2. I know thy works, and thy labor, and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which I eat. And thou hast tried them which say they are apostles, and are not, and hast found them liars. This is the revelation of Jesus Christ, chapter 18, verse 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her. And this is the revelation of Jesus Christ, chapter 21, verse 14. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. Only 12 apostles. Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed apostle Paul, he is not no apostle. He's a liar, he's a murderer, he's the devil. Now we just got to read Acts chapter 2. Acts chapter 1. Now I'm going to read Acts chapter 2. There's no such thing as speaking in tongues. There's no such thing as speaking in tongues. We're in Acts chapter 2. We'll start reading verse 1. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind. And it filled all the house where they were sitting. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. And there were dwelling in Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. Now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because every man heard to speak in his own language. There's no such thing as speaking in tongues. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born? There's no such thing as speaking in tongues. Parthians and Medes and Elamites and the dwellers in Mesopotamia and in Judea and Cappadocia and Pontus and Asia, Pergia and Pamphylia and Egypt, and in the parts of Libya about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes, Cretes and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our tongue the wonderful works of God. And they were all amazed and were in doubt, saying one to another, What meaneth this? Others mocking, saying, These men are full of new wine. But Peter, standing up with the 11, lifted up his voice and saying unto them, Ye men of Judea, and all ye that dwell at Jerusalem, be this known unto you, and hearken to my words. For these are not drunken, as ye suppose. Sin is but the 3rd hour of the day. But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saying, God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. And your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaid I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I will shew wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before that great and notable day of the Lord come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Ye men of Israel, hear these words of Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know, him being delivered by the determinate counsel and foreknowledge of God. Ye have taken, and by wicked hands have crucified and slain, whom God hath raised up, having loosed the pains of death, because it was not possible that he should be beholden of it. For David speaking concerning him, I foresaw the Lord always before my face, for he is on my right hand, that I should not be moved. Therefore did my heart rejoice, and my tongue was glad. Moreover, also my flesh shall rest in hope, because thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thy Holy One to see corruption. Thou hast made known to me the ways of life. Thou shalt make me full of joy with thy countenance. Men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried, and his sepulchre is with us unto this day. Therefore, being a prophet, and knowing that God has sworn with an oath to him that of the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, he will raise up Christ to sit on his throne. He seeing this before spake of the resurrection of Christ, that his soul was not left in hell, neither his flesh did see corruption. This Jesus hath God raised up, whereof we are all witnesses. Therefore, being the right hand of God exalted, and having received of the Father the promise of the Holy Ghost, he hath shed forth this which you now see and hear. For David is not ascended into the heaven, but he said of himself, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit down on my right hand, until I make thy foes thy footstool. Therefore, let all the house of Israel know assuredly that God that made that same Jesus whom ye have crucified, both Lord and Christ. Now when they heard this, they were pricked in their heart, and said unto Peter and to the rest of the apostles, Men and brethren, what shall we do? Then Peter said unto them, Repent, and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ, for the remission of sin, and ye shall receive the gift of the Holy Ghost. For the promise is unto you and to your children, and to all that are far off, even as many as the Lord our God shall call. And with many other words did he testify and exhort, saying, Save yourselves from this untrue generation. Then they gladly received his word, were baptized. And the same day there were added unto them about 3,000 souls. And they continued steadfast in the apostles' doctrine, in fellowship, and in breaking of bread, and in prayers. And fear came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were done by the apostles. And all that believed were together, and had all things come, and sold their possessions and goods, and parted them to all men, as every man had need. And they continued daily with one accord in the temple, and breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart, praising God, and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to the church daily such as should be saved. Now I'm going to read chapter 3. Start reading verse number 1. Now Peter and John went up together into the temple at the hour of prayer, being the ninth hour. And a certain man lame from his mother's womb was carried, whom they laid daily at the gate of the temple, which is called Beautiful, to ask alms of them that entered into the temple. Who seeing Peter and John about to go into the temple, asked them alms. And Peter fastened his eyes upon him with John, saying, "Look on us." And he gave heed unto them, expecting to receive something of them. Then Peter said, "Silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I thee. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, rise up and walk." And he took him by the right hand and lifted him up, and immediately his feet and ankle bones received strength. And he leaping up stood and walked and entered with them into the temple, walking and leaping and praising God. And all the people saw him walking and praising God. And they knew that it was he which sat for alms at the beautiful gate of the temple. And they were filled with wonder and amazement at that which had happened unto him. And as the lame man which was healed held Peter and John, all the people ran together unto them in the porch that is called Solomon's Great and Wonder. And when Peter saw it, he answered unto the people, "Ye men of Israel, why marvel ye at this? Or why look ye so earnestly on us, as though by our own power or holiness we had made this man to walk? The God of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob, the God of our father, hath glorified his Son Jesus, whom ye delivered up and denied him in the presence of Pilate, when he was determined to let him go. But ye denied the Holy One and the just, and desired a murderer to be granted unto you, and killed the Prince of Life, whom God hath raised from the dead, whereof we are witnesses. In his name, through faith in his name, have made this man strong, whom we see and know. Yea, the faith which is by him hath given him this perfect soundness in the presence of you all. And now, brethren, I want that through ignorance ye did it, as did also your rulers. But those things which God before has shewed by the mouth of all his prophets that Christ should suffer, he hath so fulfilled. Repent ye therefore, and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out, when the times of refreshing shall come from the blessing of the Lord. And ye shall see Jesus Christ, which before was preached unto you, whom the heaven was received unto the timeless restitution of all things, which God has spoken by the mouth of all his holy prophets, since the world began. For Moses truly said unto the Father, "A prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me. Him shall ye hear in all things whatsoever he shall say unto you. And it shall come to pass that every soul which will not hear that prophet shall be destroyed from among the people. Yea, and all the prophets from Samuel and those that follow after, as many as ye have spoken, have likewise foretold of these days. Ye are the children of the prophets, and of the covenant which God made with our fathers, saying unto Abraham, and in thy seed shall all the kindreds of the earth be blessed. Unto you first God, having raised up his Son Jesus, sent him to bless you, and turn away every one of you from his iniquities." Now I'm going to go over to Acts chapter 6, and start reading verse number 1. And in those days, when the number of the disciples were multiplied, there arose a murmur of the Grecians against the Hebrews, because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration. Then the 12 called the multitude of the disciples unto them, and said, "It is not reason that we should leave the word of God and serve tables. Wherefore, brethren, look ye out among you 7 men of honest report." Remember, 7 men. You know, we've been talking about the evangelist Philip, and you know, he had 4 virgin daughters who prophesied. This is him. This is not the apostle Philip, but Philip. He one of the 7 men of honest report, full of the Holy Ghost and wisdom, whom we may appoint over this business. But we will give ourselves continuing to prayer and to the ministry of the word, And the saying pleased the whole multitude, and they chose Stephen, a man full of faith and of the Holy Ghost, and Philip, and Prochorus, and Nicanor, and Timon, and Parmenas, and Nicholas, a proselyte of Antioch, whom they set before the apostles, and when they had prayed, they laid their hands on them. And the word of God increased, and the number of the disciples multiplied in Jerusalem greatly, and a great company of the priests were obedient to the faith. And Stephen, full of faith and power, did great wonders and miracles among the people. Then there arose certain of the synagogue, which is called the synagogue of the Libertines and Cyrenians and Alexandria, and of them of Cilicia and of Asia, disputing with Stephen. And they went, and they were not able to resist the wisdom and the spirit by which he spake. Then as one men were saying, we have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God. And it stirred up the people and the elders and the scribes, and came upon him, and caught him, and brought him to the council, and set up false witnesses, which said, this man ceases not to speak blasphemous words against this holy place and the law. For we have heard him say that this Jesus of Nazareth shall destroy this place and shall change the customs which Moses delivered us. And all that sat in the council, looking steadfast on him, saw his face as he had been the face of an angel. Now we're going to go over to chapter 7. You know that's Stephen's defense. Now I'm going to start reading in chapter 7 in verse 54. Chapter 7, verse 54. When they heard these things, they were cut to the heart, and they gnashed on him with their teeth. But he, being full of the Holy Ghost, looked up steadfast into heaven and saw the glory of God and Jesus standing on the right hand of God. He said, behold, I see the heavens open and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of God. Then they cried out with a loud voice and stopped their ears and ran upon him with one accord. And cast him out of the city and stoned him, and the witnesses laid down their clothes at a young man's feet, whose name was Saul. And they stoned Stephen, calling upon God and saying, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit. And he kneeled down and cried with a loud voice, Lord, lay not this sin to their charge. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. Now what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to stop this video, my YouTube video, for this because it takes too long to upload. So I'm going to stop this one and then I'm going to start it right back. So it's going to be part 1.